Hi, guys. How are you today? Time to talk housewives. Okay, so today, oh God, this story just breaks my heart. We're going to talk about NeNe Leakes exposing Cynthia and saying that Cynthia did not come after Gregg's death. This is so heartbreaking. So let's get into it. Let me go ahead, play my intro, allow more people into the room, and then we'll get right into it. Hi, guys. How are you? Let me bring Perry up for this one. Hey, Perry.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Okay, so do you remember something's wrong with your screen? I don't know. Do you remember when Gregg passed and I kept saying, I forgot this. Sorry. Got my banner and forgot to tell you, if you haven't already signed up for Perry's hotline, don't forget to do it. It's area code 702-553-3288. Okay, now back to what I was saying. Do you remember when NeNe, when Gregg passed and they were showing the funeral and I noticed Cynthia wasn't there and she was posting pictures of her and Mike barbecuing. And I was feeling do you remember this? And I was feeling some type of way. Yeah, your head is blending into the.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can't do anything about it now. And I was feeling some type of way. I was like, where the hell is Cynthia? And everyone was like, calm down, Sharrell, calm down. You know, she probably has a perfect excuse. And I was like defending myself, saying, no, I seen her barbecuing with Mike. And then they showed up a week later together taking pictures. I didn't care. I felt some type of way. I really did. Because let me tell you this. NeNe has done the most for that boring ass Cynthia than anybody on that show. She was supposed to be canned after season 1. Now, whether you liked her role on the show or that, all that doesn't matter. At the end of the day, she was there because of NeNe. And then when she turned on NeNe, she was there because of Kenya and Candy. She was never able to hold a storyline on her own. So for me, I'm the type of, you know what kind of friend I am. I am loyal. I am very loyal. If you do something nice for me, I don't forget it. I return the favors. But not only that, if I need you, there's certain times in my life when I need my friends. Death, divorce, illnesses. I don't care. I'm gonna drop the line. We're probably gonna get into some arguments. If you're not there during that time for me,
right,
to hell with you forever.
Right.
I miss Gabor forever. I miss Gabor. I'm done with you forever. What's the purpose of being a so-called friend if you're not there when I need you?
Right.
And you know, last 2 weeks now, I've been 2 weeks out. I lost someone very important in my family, the closest person to me besides my kids and you. The family surrounded me. I need you there. Even though it doesn't take away that pain, it was just nice. My best friend of 30-something years called, are you okay? I mean, I want you to treat me like I'm a child. I need you to be there. And even with that, I mean, you saw me, Perry. I was a mess. It can't take away the pain, but you were there.
Right.
You didn't even say anything. You just let me cry. Anyway, so NeNe is saying that Cynthia was not there. She came a week later, but she wasn't there. She didn't come to the repast or the celebration. But her punk ass, let me tell you what Cynthia did. Realized, oh, this is not a good look. Let me call. You better not call me a week later after my family member passed, I would stop accepting calls. If my family member passed and you don't call till a week later and say, I'm sorry what happened to your loved one a week ago. Mm-hmm. And not only that, Cynthia was close to Gregg. Oh yeah, this is going to be a heated debate, people. But let me post what NeNe said about it. So she was on the a morning radio talk show in Atlanta. And this is what she said. I hope you guys can hear. Let me turn the mic this way. That's too low. Let me try to turn it up. I'm mad thinking about it. I will never get over it. I will never get over it. Something just happened. I broke. So let's see if this is better.
During Gregg's passing, every housewife in the entire franchise, reached out to me. Kim Zolciak definitely have texted me since Gregg has passed, and she has stayed in touch since then. So I would say that we are okay. I don't want to name drop, but I would expect who? I would expect no. A lot of people expect that now. She didn't even come to the repast. She did come like a week later after everything was done. She came by my lounge. It's really hard to explain Housewives. It's almost like a dysfunctional family. But they all reached out. They all sent flowers or something. Actually, I was surprised because the first set of flowers I got was a bouquet from like all the housewives. Like they went in together. I'm like, why do y'all need to go in together and buy some damn flowers? Like, it's all of y'all work. You don't need to let's go in together and buy $200 worth of flowers. Like, you can spend your own $200. That's the way I've always been doing. Great.
She did not come. She came a week later, spent some time with her at Lenithia Lounge. They closed it down and they spent some time together. According to the rumors, NeNe didn't want to hang on to any hurt or pain, so she overlooked it. She didn't say anything.
Right.
How convenient, after they get to see each other at Lenithia Lounge, Cynthia shows up on an article talking about the great experience. This is a publicity stunt, so she didn't look bad. So she came and said that she's actually she couldn't make it to the funeral. She's glad she wasn't there because she got to spend quality time. I'm so over Cynthia with NeNe.
Right.
Let's talk about what's really going on, okay? You're mad. Okay? You're mad because you knew you were going to get fired. And the rumor is NeNe said she would return if you were gone. And you feel like NeNe had something to do with your firing. Why can't we set that to the side because Gregg is not here with us anymore? Why?
Right.
I can't with Cynthia. I'm glad your punk ass is gone. You know you were fired. She's also going around saying that she quit the show because she didn't want the show to affect her relationship with her alleged bisexual, sexually fluid husband. No, I swear to God.
Yeah, I got it.
Interview to the Jasmine brand. This girl, not only are you boring, you're a boring snake. Bravo lets you say whatever you want when you get fired, right? That's their courtesy to you because they've probably done some very mean and vicious things to you because that's how Andy Cohen is, and he'll let you say whatever. I just don't understand the people that choose to lie. Just tell the truth, Monique. Just tell the truth, Cynthia.
Right.
Tell the truth. I got fired. Even boring Teddy finally said, they're not renewing my contract. Why come with all this fluff? Oh, I'm on to bigger and better things. There's higher things on the horizon. What is this? Girl, stop. Okay? Stop. That's not the only thing she said in this interview. I don't know if anybody in the chat has been through death to someone very close to you. If you don't know how to handle it, it will take you down. It's one of the worst things that you could deal with in your life. I'm going through it now. There's no written handbook on how to handle it. But she talked about how everybody was there. They promised Gregg they would be there for her, but now she's alone.
Well,
Sad. Let's take a listen.
Okay.
I've had a lot of highs and lows, and I think my worst times are at night.
Okay.
During the day, I'm fine because I'm really busy or I'm at my lounge, but it's at night when I need to go home. It's when I have the hardest time. I don't want to go home, so you know, I'm kind of homeless with a home.
Wow.
Which is weird. I'm homeless with a home because I don't ever want to go there at night and stay. You know, well, it's only me.
Right.
You know, my son is 22, the youngest, and he moved out and got his own place right after his dad passed. He'd been looking and wanting to get a place,
right?
And he did. And so, yeah, I'm homeless with a home. And what I learned, too, there were a lot of people coming to our house when Gregg passed, and a lot of them were saying things like, you know, NeNe is going to really need you guys after everything.
The extended via.
Yeah, and it's so weird that they were right. And it's so weird that you know, one of the things I often think about, you know, I didn't know I was going to say this, but I'm going to say it.
Come on, say it.
He was going to probably be mad with me. One of the things that I thought about a lot is, you know, I've taken care of a lot of people, you know, in my career. I've taken care of a lot of people. And all of the people that I've really taken care of, none of them have taken care of me.
Wow.
During this time. Yeah. I don't think it really registered to them that I'm not lonely. I'm alone at my home, and you know, none of them think, well, let me just go and stay with her. Let me help her. Let me be with her. Something.
I understand how she feels. I feel that being on the show is one thing. They have all these arguments. They go back and forth or whatever. But you can't confuse that with real life. So it's apparent they weren't your friends.
right. I mean, me personally, I think everybody understand that. I think everybody that's in this chat, because I doubt if anybody here is under the age 15. Okay.
Right.
I think that everybody has experienced that, like when you in a time of need or something, and the people that you thought would be in your corner,
right,
never showed up.
That's what's going on here.
That's exactly what happened. But we all experienced that. So that's the whole thing is, you know, we all been there. But then too, it's worse when you go, you know, some people, friends of ours, we might do a little bit for them, but not over the top. When you go over the top and do a lot for a person, it's not that you ask them for
like help give them a job for 11 years.
Right. And the crazy part, it's not even that you asking this person to praise you. You just asking for this person for a little respect back at your time of need. That's it.
I feel some type of way. I don't like Cynthia. I think she owed NeNe that respect. That's just how I am. If someone does something for me, I don't forget it. And there's certain times in a person's life where you need support. And illness, you know, if you're terminally ill and I call you my friend, I'm going to be there for you.
Right.
Death, just certain things. And I just think Cynthia's petty. And why are you lying about being fired? We all know you were fired. You're fired. I don't know. Let me start taking phone calls because this is going to be
her lying about being fired. But for a friend, regardless of how petty, a lot of people have petty things going on. You can't let the petty override something huge. And at the end of the day, she's supposed to have been Gregg's friend. But that tells you a lot of things. A lot of people who say they're your friends pretend like it, but never are your friends in the first place. That's it.
Retta says, I lost my husband of 40 years. Oh, God. After a 40-year marriage. So sorry, Retta. It is devastating. It's devastating. You do need your friends just to be there for you. I'm praying for NeNe. It's devastating.
Yeah, sorry about your loss. That's hard.
Hi, dog mom. You want me to call you dog mom?
Hey, how you doing?
How are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Huh?
You can hear me okay?
after losing my loved one? No, I'm not okay. It's really devastating. And you just go on, you feel like your world stops and everything else just keeps moving. Everyone else is normal, they're laughing, and you're going, you can't laugh. It's crazy. What do you feel about the whole NeNe and Cynthia situation?
She might have a delay. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Sarah, I spoke to you before. How are you?
You did? I'm good. Where are you calling from?
Detroit. I called you before. Yes, I gave you some juicy gossip.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What was the juicy gossip? Can you say?
It was about Lisa Rinna, Big Lips, her husband.
Oh, you probably can't say.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I talked to so many people.
That's okay. That's okay. How are you? I love you and Perry.
We're good. We're good.
I love you so much.
Oh,
hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. You have the best gossip. I watch you every day.
Thank you. Well, what about today's gossip?
It was good. It was awesome.
Do you think NeNe's being fair? Because you could tell she's upset.
Well, NeNe, she burned Cynthia a lot of times. She got in Cynthia's face and she really degraded her. And I think now she stood up for herself. See? So when she stood up for herself and gained her strength, that's when NeNe was like, whoa, she fell back. Because she knew Cynthia would come for her and let it all hang out. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But what about the death? What about being
I loved Gregg. I think Gregg was very sweet, very nice. He didn't care about the color you wore on your back. He was just a really beautiful person. I don't know if NeNe really deserved a man like that. I'm being honest. I'm being honest. You want me to be real? I'm going to give you real.
You got to be real. You got to be real.
So Cynthia knows a lot on NeNe. That's why NeNe fell back and said, oh, ho, ho, because she knew that she was going to come for her. And she would release some of the secrets that NeNe told Cynthia in confidence.
What about the fact NeNe is struggling with being alone? Do you feel like it's karma?
I think it is karma.
Oh my God.
What you give out is what you get back, Sharrell. You guys know that.
Like for me, that's still a
good energy. It's going to come onto you. You're going to release it, and other people are going to come to you. It's her bad karma.
What about this? Please, dog mom, work with me here. If me and you are working together and we go back and forth and something happens to your spouse, God forbid,
right.
I put that aside.
Right. Well, I agree with you 1,000%. But at the same time, NeNe was always really bad to her husband, Gregg. She would get up in his, remember on the show, she would get all mad with him and lose her crap sometimes and be sassy.
Right, okay. Like dog mom, I get all that. Like, but the whole thing is what you're saying as far as karma.
That.
When we're speaking of karma,
at a point,
yeah,
she separated with Gregg before he passed.
Yeah.
But, okay, what I'm saying is that's totally different. Her arguments with Gregg as a couple, people fight. If you ever been married, you have these things. But when you say it's karma, who gets life sentence for a misdemeanor? Okay. Now, I think Cynthia took it too far for that. It's being over petty for me personally. And yeah, I mean, Cynthia can go and say all the bad things NeNe said to her, got in her face. But did NeNe not do a whole bunch of positive things for her too? See, oftentimes in an argument, you're going to only hear the bad things. So, and for me, I feel like Cynthia went too far.
I do feel hurt for Cynthia and NeNe. I think Cynthia had a very wise breakthrough, and maybe she realized that NeNe wasn't always a true friend to her. She came around inconvenienced to be seen on the show. So you got to think about that too, And Cynthia was a very good friend, I think, to NeNe.
Now I wish you didn't have a delay so we could have a great conversation. But
That's
that is
okay.
true. That I need to say that Cynthia was a great friend to
She
NeNe
was.
also.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
to say that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
always got to have a girl like that in your corner.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dog Mom, for calling in. I would keep you on longer, but the delay is
It's okay.
not.
You guys have a great night. I love you both.
And
Hey,
thank
thank
you,
you much. I
thank you for
appreciate
your
it.
gossip.
Yep.
I'm always here for gossip.
Take care.
All right, take care.
All right, take
Bye-bye.
care.
Let me read this really quick. Todd says loyalty doesn't mean something. Loyalty means everything. He's reading my book. Love Sharrell and Perry. Thank you,
Hey, thanks,
Todd
Todd.
Barnes
Appreciate it.
reporting.
And that's the truth, 100. Loyalty goes a long way. Now, all the petty shit is something different because we all got something petty going on in our life. But the way NeNe was treated like that or not, from Cynthia could have did better, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Let's start with NeNe. Come on, come on, Nina. We about to duke it out. What you gonna say?
Well, I'm 100 with NeNe. You know, NeNe is my girl, and
Yeah.
Cynthia was being very petty because you didn't do shit that day but barbecue in Los Angeles with your husband, husband, and whatever he is, honey. Because I'm with you, Sharrell. He's something, but he ain't out. He ain't 100% man. But then you gonna come back a week later. You better be glad. You ought to be glad that NeNe even let you into her lounge and took a picture with your petty ass. You know, yeah, you was petty. All that stuff that happened on the show, we understand. NeNe got you on the show, of course. NeNe, you was a good friend to NeNe. Cynthia, Cynthia is a great friend to anybody.
Yeah.
I believe she is loyal, until she gets hurt. But that's life. That's with anybody. I am too. But when something like that as devastating as losing Gregg, when Gregg was a friend to everybody, he didn't pick and choose. He was a friend to everybody, and everybody loved him. You should have shown up. If Portia and her
If
fiance,
You showed up.
yeah, Kenya too. If they could, but I'm saying if Portia and them could fly from their little vacation in the Barbados or wherever they from, wherever they went, and be there. You could have hopped on a plane with your frequent flyer miles from LA to Atlanta and been there no matter what.
Yep.
There.
You put shit aside.
Yeah, the sister was there.
sister
Mallory was there and not Cynthia.
And you know what? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. And people can say, well, maybe she had this going on. She was barbecuing, so she wasn't at a function. She wasn't doing shit. She was at home. If she didn't have the money, let's just say this, for example. NeNe probably would have gave her the money to come. NeNe just needed her damn support at that moment, and she showed none. And I get it. Cynthia could be a good friend, but you can be a good friend Monday through Saturday, but if you ain't there on Sunday, it don't mean a damn thing for me.
That's right.
You know what?
What's up, old Bob?
I agree with NeNe. I'm gonna say this because I got to get off. I agree with NeNe because I'm gonna tell you something. When my father died last year, a very good friend I grew up with, we was friends. When my father died, she didn't call. She didn't send no note. She didn't call my mama. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I felt hurt because when her mama passed away, I drove 200 miles to go to her mom's body and to bring flowers. I felt hurt. So I know what NeNe's talking about. She could have called and said, Renee, I'm sorry for your loss. Another thing I wanted to say, Kenya and NeNe talk all the time. But even Kenya had common sense and respect, pay respect.
Yeah.
Mal was there. Cynthia's sister was there.
Even if you don't show up, even if you don't show up for NeNe, you don't care no more. Yeah, you don't care no more about NeNe, but you know how much you love Gregg and how much Gregg loved you. You show up anyway.
Out of respect.
Out of respect. You might not be able to deal with NeNe, but you loved her husband.
Right.
Well, I mean, so she said.
Let's see what Oval says.
Look, whatever dog, whatever the name was, she done melted my Slurpee up because I can't believe that mess that she was up there saying.
I
Anyway,
know,
look,
right? What was she saying?
look,
Val?
Everybody
look,
got to
I
do that.
was getting hot. My Slurpee was getting hot. You know what I'm saying? So I can't believe the stuff you said. Nothing against anybody's opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. But come on now. I don't care if I don't like you and your mama. If something happened to your daddy and I'm friends with your family, I'm gonna have respect and go and say my goodbyes to him. I ain't got to talk to you. I ain't got to talk to nobody else in your family. But I respect for him how he treated me. I got to
Exactly.
and say show my last respects. I don't care what. That was just tacky of Cynthia. We gonna talk about what a good friend Cynthia was. To me, I don't care how good a friend she was. That devastated all of our friendship right
Right,
there. Okay, you know what I'm
right.
saying?
That
That
was
messed the
it.
whole thing because Gregg was nothing but nice to her. It wasn't about NeNe. NeNe wasn't the one in the casket.
Right.
It was Gregg.
That's
Okay,
what I was
You know,
saying,
overall,
Val.
right.
I agree with that because at the end of the day, our personal feelings could be something else. But at the end of the day, we always gonna have that Monday through Sunday. We got
Right.
personal feelings, they go up and down. But respect is another damn thing that you can't replace. If you fuck that up and don't be there to honor and do the right thing, you can't erase that. After a death, the
That's right.
certain thing is like if I don't show up to your birthday,
Uh-huh.
maybe a little different. But
Uh-huh.
this shit right here,
Mhm.
and you blow this off,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you can't go back and rewind time.
But you know
Right.
what? But you know
That's
what?
exactly Perry, you know, there's been people that I can't stand. But you know what? If one of their parents, even their sister or brother passed away,
Right.
I went based on the person who was in the casket, not who was there. I
Right.
based it on the person that's in the casket. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to say to her, I don't know, each his own. I don't know what kind of friendship she's talking about, but I ain't never known nobody not put their differences to the side when it comes to her funeral. When it comes to that person,
Right.
that's a
And you know
whole
what?
different situation. You ain't
Right.
got to talk to nobody there. Plus, furthermore, you ain't even got to talk to the person in the casket because they can't even answer you back. But how about out of respect for the person in the casket, you just show up? And I want to say another thing,
But you
Sharrell,
go ahead.
I'm rubbing off on you, Sharrell, because I thought I was the only one that say punk ass. I thought I was the only one that said
Hi, Cornisha.
But
How
let
are
me
you?
say one thing, and then I'm gonna get out.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Andrea. Go ahead.
What I did do, I was hurt, and I called that heifer on the phone, and I told that heifer what I thought what she did was wrong. I said you could at least call my mama and say, Miss Simpson, I am so sorry for your loss. But I got that heifer told, y'all. I got that heifer told.
you said I
Bye-bye.
told you.
Thank you, Andrea. Take care. Is it Cornisha? Is it Cornisha?
It is. Hey, Cheryl. Hi, Perry.
Hi.
Yes.
Oh, we have another delay. Can you hear
Can you hear
me?
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes.
Before you
Okay,
talk
I'm back.
about Cynthia, I want you to answer this question. How does can NeNe get through this alone? You know, wait, no.
No.
Are her friends expected to do the after work? You know what I mean? Like call every day, make sure she's okay. Are friends expected to do that?
They are expected to do that. I actually went through a similar situation. I lost my mother in March, and I didn't hear from one friend. It was all family that surrounded me. So, and I actually do feel some way about that because,
Yeah.
you know, you're there when the time's
Yeah,
good,
you
when the
should.
party's going on. But when you lose a loved one,
Right.
that's when you need your friends around you. So, yeah, I understand where NeNe's coming from.
What do you think
But
about
you know,
Cynthia?
after
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Nina.
Oh,
no, but I was gonna say,
oh,
you
go
know,
ahead.
after everybody's there for you while you going through when they pass, when you have the repast, maybe a day or two, but then the phone calls stop ringing. The
Yeah.
people stop calling. They stop knocking at the door. Your
Right.
work, you know, that's.
But
This is
Nina,
what I want
people
to
have
say,
lives
and I
to
don't.
live. Are they?
That's what I
People
was
have to
getting
go
ready to
back to
say.
their lives. Are they expected to be
That's
there
what
for you?
I was getting ready to say that, Sharrell. But in all reality, that stuff is going to happen. It has always happened. People have to go back and show up for their own families and stuff. But I will say, a true friend. I had a true friend when I lost my brother 3 years ago. That chick called me for a whole month every day, whether I answered or not. She said, "I'm gonna keep calling you because I want to make sure that your spirit is good."
Go ahead, Cornisha. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
But let's not forget how NeNe treated Cynthia now. Come on, we all seen
Oh
for
God.
years and years how
Okay.
they went back and forth, and there was time she
Oh,
dogged her out. So it was the end of the road for their friendship. I'm sure she felt bad that Gregg died, but maybe Cynthia just felt like, hey, I don't care what's going on in her life. Now ain't the time for us to rekindle
so
anything.
so so you're not gonna nail Cynthia to the cross.
Wow.
No. We all
That's
seen NeNe's
awful.
antics over the years. Like I don't know. I feel like who knows what behind the scenes, what kind of how they really fell out.
But
Well,
it
But
wasn't
NeNe,
about
I
Nene
think there was a
though.
bigger reason why
but
Cynthia didn't reach out.
don't forget NeNe not the same. But guess what? NeNe and Cynthia start having problems when Cynthia started teaming up with Kenya. And yes, her feelings was hurt because anybody when you're close with somebody and somebody don't like you, your best friend is gonna be start being friendly with her. Anybody's feelings will get hurt.
so
Yeah,
you
and
guys are
Nene didn't come
saying
to the wedding. They said that Nene didn't come to Cynthia's wedding. Nene had just got fired from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. She had
Yeah.
just got fired. Plus, it was a super spreader. And second, Nene said, "I'm not." She was hurt, like you said. Oh, Val, she was hurt. People still. You can't tell people not to still hurt after a couple of years.
but Nina, we
Plus,
we could
she's
flip we could flip
Right.
that around.
I
You
I,
could say,
I think it's something deeper that we don't.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could flip that
I
and you
think
could
it's
say,
something deeper that we don't know.
yeah, you could easily say, well, Nene should have been at that wedding. You could have easily said that.
I
I
wouldn't.
don't know.
not at that time. Not
No,
at that
I wouldn't.
time. That was too painful. They
Yeah.
did her dirty. They did her so dirty the way they did her at
Hmm.
that last reunion. When she got
Mhm.
fired, they did her dirty on that season. That was not the time for NeNe to show up any Bravo situation. Plus, she
Okay.
had to say what she said about Andy. It was raw then. It was raw for NeNe.
Cornisha,
I
we're
wouldn't have
having a
showed up
delay.
either.
So did you have any last words?
No, other than I love you guys. I'll keep watching. Thank
Hey,
Thank
you.
thank
you
you.
for
I appreciate
calling
it.
in. Take care.
And take care.
I mean, this situation could get heated because I see the other side. I don't care. I'm still mad.
No, you know
Yeah.
what though? I
Or
mean, for
Cynthia
me
with her
personally,
spoiled brat self.
I know what you were
Too
saying. You were saying,
spoiled.
well, NeNe got fired, so she didn't go to the wedding. But
Uh-huh.
Cynthia just got fired, whether she want to look at it that way or not, didn't go to the funeral. A funeral is a whole lot different
Yeah.
than a wedding.
Yes.
We keep forgetting whose funeral was it. It's not the person who they're related to. It's whose funeral was it. That's the whole purpose. All I'm saying is, they had a friendship. Okay.
Right.
Regardless to how anybody want to see how what led to what. The point is, if any two best friends are best friends, you tell each other a lot of stuff that you don't want nobody to know. But if
Mm-hmm.
somebody on the outside comes in to that best friend to either one, don't like
But
the other one.
her
Don't like the
sister
other one.
showed up.
How could you not get your feelings hurt? Everybody has feelings, okay?
But
Mm-hmm.
Nene,
Right.
hold on. Let me
Cynthia's
read this really
sister
quick.
showed up.
Hold on a second, Nina. Let me read this. It says, "Didn't Nene miss Cynthia's wedding and then said something insulting about it? I think so, but still surprised Cynthia didn't go." Go ahead, Val. I mean, I'm just
saying I wouldn't have went. After I've just been fired off of something, I wouldn't have, because who was she friends with at Cynthia's wedding? She wasn't even friends with Cynthia or Cynthia.
Kenya, none of them.
She
None
wasn't.
of them.
So what are you going to invade yourself for and come there and then nobody wants to talk to you because nobody is your friend? So
Right.
who is she going to do?
let's hear what
After the
Corey
way
has
they
to
did
say.
her.
Corey, what do you have to say?
Well, listen. I'm so tired of people saying that Cynthia was such an angel. No, they
Was
caught her on a hot mic trying to take NeNe down. Okay, and it was Gregg's final wish during his days when he first fought it, before he got clean for a little while, that they patch up. And if she was that much of a friend to Gregg, I don't care what kind of cookout or whatever, I would have got on a plane and I'd have got on the red eye for just one day. just to show my respect to Gregg. If you don't like NeNe, it's Gregg. Gregg is the most important person, and his children.
Right.
Let's hear what Diva have to say. What do you have to say, Diva?
You know, this is such a hard conversation. But in regards to Cynthia's wedding, remember, NeNe wanted $20,000 to go there. So
She did.
she wanted $20,000 because she was fired from the show, and she was
Right.
like, "You're not filming me for free, but if you give me $20K, I'll go there." And they didn't agree to that. But in terms of the funeral, I think no matter what fight you're having with somebody, when something tragic like that happens, all bets are off. I do, and she should have showed up, right? Because you could be in the back pew or wherever it was, but it was at the Lanithia, right? Because she just kind of had like a memorial service. You could have slid in there and slid out, and it wouldn't have been a big deal. But at least you would have showed her face. Do I understand Cynthia's side wholeheartedly? Because even the minute NeNe left the show, every chance she got to speak to somebody, she would say, "Fire Cynthia." It's like, how evil can you be?
She did say that.
You could be mad at somebody, but everywhere you go, you got to say, "Fire Cynthia." And NeNe, I'm feeling for her right now and everything she's going through, but she's nasty. To even say that, "Oh, y'all put in to get me $200 worth of flowers." Well, which one is it? At least they thought about you, right? Because they chipped in. Does that really matter? It's not the point of did all of them send me flowers separately? They thought about you, and collectively they gave you something. So she always kind of slides a little grease in the game, but then wants to say, "Well, why isn't anybody supporting me?" I do think people need to support you, like when a loved one has passed. But how do you expect people to support you wholeheartedly when you're nasty to them on the sideline?
Okay, Diva, let me say this about those flowers, though, because I heard the flower thing, but I think it's a bigger picture that maybe it can overlap somebody and they can say, "Well, you got something, you should be happy." I think basically what she was trying to say is, why would it take you to be a group to support me,
right,
when you could have sent me a $10 rose?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, why you got to go and consult with somebody else what you can do for me?
Well,
if I was a friend, like if I was paying for somebody's funeral, I might have to, go in with somebody. But if I'm just sending you a personal condolences, it don't take me to form a group.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. If you I'm still reading this book, the one that and part 3 is all about Atlanta. And they talked about how in there, NeNe was just greasy the whole time. Like once she started making that money, she will always come to them and be like, "I'm the richest one on the show. I can do this, I can do that." And they all felt like the producers catered to her. So they all truly felt a certain kind of way about her. So it's not like you're talking about a group of her friends that were really her friends. You're talking about a group of people that probably said, "You know what? This is tragic. We feel bad for her. Let's collectively send her some flowers." So if they were all individually like really good friends of her, maybe I could see that. But it was like, they did better than Cynthia because they came together and sent her some flowers, and some of them showed up. So all of them. Yeah, all of them showed up. Like, was Portia there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And the crook Simon.
Did Andy go to the funeral? No, he did not go to the funeral. So she did bring up the Andy situation. And what she said was that her and Andy has never had a sit down to iron things out. Her door is open, but she thinks his door is closed.
And in the book, he said he loves her. And he said it's sad because they had a really good friendship. And what happened was they said that scene with her in the closet, a producer got hurt. And they was mad that she never physically apologized. And they're like the producers are like their friends. They're with them for hours a day. And for her to act like they didn't matter, that pissed everyone off. And they really was pissed because she never apologized. She just act like it was nothing.
Okay, let me say this. Andy can say a lot of damn shit, okay? Now, I don't know about that episode. Right. I never heard of nobody getting shot in that scene.
What?
Ain't nobody got shot up in there. So for a producer to get hurt what? He get a look busted lip.
His shirt got ripped.
Right. Okay. Now you
No,
see
they
that
said he
thing?
went to the hospital in the book. They said somebody went to the hospital.
Well, I mean,
Well, they
yeah.
shouldn't have went in her closet like she asked them
That's
not
right.
to.
She asked them not to go in her closet.
They violated her
Don't film.
personal space.
That's right.
And Candy
That's
said,
right.
I'm going in there anyway.
She did.
Portia took her little ass in there.
I agree with Perry though
They
too.
got what they
The
got.
injuries couldn't have been. Oh, you got to go, Val. Sorry.
Oh, you got to go. Okay.
Bye, Val.
Bye.
Oh, I can't get the thing to work. Okay, thank you, Val. Okay, she's gone. I agree with Perry though. The injuries couldn't have been that bad.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I mean, let's keep it real. I think people have a play
Do
on
we really
words.
need an ambulance to come take him because he broke his
But,
pinky
see, but
toe?
you know, they also said with that scene, there's a lot that they didn't show that happened.
Oh, okay.
So they saying it was really, they were all saying like all of them spoke that were there, and they said it was really bad, and people were actually really scared, and they said NeNe was just in a bad place because she was dealing with Gregg's, illness. She had a lot going on, and they said they saw a different side of NeNe. So they just said she was in a bad space. If you're reading the book, Sharrell, this chapter on Atlanta is like the absolute best. I mean, I still got a long way to go. Like I read that whole chapter, but it's really a lot of good stuff in that particular chapter.
Hold that thought. Denise, what are your thoughts of Cynthia not going to the funeral?
If Cynthia had a problem going to Gregg's funeral, I think she shouldn't have said anything about Gregg at all on her social media. That's my thought.
You mean don't post the barbecue
Don't
pictures?
post anything about Gregg's death. Don't say how wonderful he was.
Yeah.
Don't say this or whatever. He was the best person. He treated me well.
Agreed.
You couldn't find 12 hours to fly into Atlanta and fly out back, postpone your barbecue and have it the next day. Don't say anything at all, in my opinion. In my opinion as well, I think Cynthia is a social climber. You see how quick she was to throw NeNe by the side because she probably heard the things in the back about NeNe leaving.
Denise, we have to admit that Cynthia was a good friend to NeNe.
She was a good friend, and she was a good friend to NeNe when it served her well.
Right. NeNe saving her job.
NeNe was on her way out. Kenya, they were campaigning for Kenya to come back. They saw the linings in the cloud that Kenya was on her way back. She aligned herself with Kenya and Candy because NeNe was on her way out. They knew it. All of them knew it, especially that Gray Diva brought up about the producer getting hurt. They heard the chatter. They knew something was up. That is why she treated NeNe like that. That is why she responded to NeNe like that. Even on that hot mic moment, we can't forget about that because she was scheming behind NeNe's back. Then you can see last season.
Cynthia showed double sides. Hold on 1 second, Denise. I'm getting behind on these super chats. Hold on 1 second. I agree with Kat. And also, didn't NeNe have a whole boyfriend? Oh, wow. And was actively dating while her husband was ill. She wasn't that doting wife. I think it's Cynthia's husband with the backbone, but the optics are bad. Oh my God. You went there.
You know what?
Go ahead, Denise. I cut you off. Wait, one more. I got one more. Hold on.
I actually think it's Cynthia.
Hold on, I have one more. NeNe was always grimy to Cynthia. When NeNe left the show the first time, she said on Watch What Happens Live that Andy needed to fire Cynthia. She did say that. Go ahead, Denise.
Well, if we all think it, we all think the same thing. We thought
I think, hey, Nina, we don't all think it. I think we all.
I don't give you wrong.
Yeah, we want her gone.
Said it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
NeNe was saying it, but we all thought it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the floor, Denise. Go ahead.
And speaking from the perspective of someone that has lost a spouse to cancer, when she talked about feeling alone, my husband was sick for 1.5 years. Worst 18 months of my life. I had a toddler. When he passed, my son had just turned 2. My son was 2 years and 2 months. Okay. Friends and family, they came around that week of his death. And after that week, everybody forgot about us. everybody went on with their lives. They would send a text here and there. How are you? How is the baby? But to actually come by, see how you're actually doing. I
But
literally,
Denise,
it's
is
me and
that
my
their
son alone.
responsibility?
Actually, no, but they knew, like especially family members, they knew that it was my son and myself and my husband alone in this country. Do you understand? So
Mm.
what that taught me was what you would do for people, don't ever expect it back. You
Oh,
gotta
that's
go in with the
good. That's good.
least
Yeah.
expectations as possible. Yes, it's wrong. It's a bad way to carry yourself, but like me, I would get up, I would call, I would cook, I would carry food, I would clean your house, I would look after your kids. No one. So I understand when she said she felt lonely. It actually brought tears to my eyes because I know exactly what she's saying.
All righty. Thank you so much, Denise, for calling in. I appreciate your call. Take care.
My
Condolences, Denise.
Condolences. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's going to bring me to tears. Oh, don't forget, guys, I'm going through that right now. Okay,
You
we got.
too.
Yeah.
We love you, Sharrell.
Oh,
You and
so
our
sweet.
prayers.
Oh, thank you.
Mama,
Chick-
Big Mama says her too.
And tell
Big
them to
Mama?
stop talking about my NeNe.
Uh-oh.
Are they jealous?
Uh-oh.
What do they want?
Uh-oh.
You can't get blood from a turnip.
All right, Mama.
I like your mama.
They need to quit.
They said they love you, Mama.
I love them
Yes.
too.
Takesha, can I see your
Love
face?
you.
Ridiculous.
She loved NeNe.
Even
Go ahead,
though
Jamin. We can go back on Avatar.
Okay.
NeNe is good.
Takesha,
All right now.
go ahead.
I'm down.
All right, she's done.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I love
Takesha, can I see your face?
Look at she making it. And I hope she never come back to them old cheap shows.
You
All
host
right,
the
Mama.
show.
I do. They tell us.
Hello.
Okay, Mama.
Hi, Jamin. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all? Hey, Perry. Hey,
Hey, what's up?
everybody.
What's up? What's up?
Mama's too big. Mom. Okay, Jamin, what are your thoughts on the situation? It's all over the board. Some people are saying what's happening to NeNe is karma. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm going to say this. I lost my mom, my dad, and my brother all back to back.
Damn.
And before that, I had gotten out of a 7-year relationship. So I absolutely know how it feels to have no one. Everybody's around you once once everything first happens, the funeral and the repast. But when it hits you is when everybody goes home, when all the family goes home and you have no one there, and it's just you.
Woo.
So I understand exactly where she's coming from with that. Exactly where she's coming from. You feel like it's just you don't want to go home. You don't know what to do, and you can get into a very horrible place. Say what am I trying to say? A dark place, depression.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When something like that happens, especially when you lose multiple people. But that was her spouse.
Right.
So I feel as if she has every right to feel that way. I feel like Cynthia's a low down dirty snake. I can't stand her.
Damn.
I thought I did have a little bit of remorse for her at first when she got fired and everything, but after I've heard this, I can't stand her now. I'm glad she's gone.
Jamin, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
We lost our cousin in July on my mom's birthday.
I lost my uncle too.
And 6 months before that, we lost her brother. But my cousin, we just want I want to be there for him, and I want to text him every other day and all that. But I've never lost a parent, so I don't know how
You get through that.
I don't want to be a nuisance to him, and I don't want to keep asking the same questions that he gets asked every day that brings him back
to that.
To that.
You're saying you don't know how to console. You don't know how to console someone in
Really,
that kind of pain.
What I do with my friends when they lose someone close, I go and I give my condolences when it first happened. But I go to the funeral or whatever, but I do step back because I know they have a lot of family that's around them to love on them right then. And then when their family leaves, that's when I step up. And then that's when I become the person that they can lean on for anything. I take food to their house if they're local. If not, I call them every single day. I don't have to talk about that, but I just call to chat with them, to make sure that they're not going into a dark place, because I know what kind of dark place I was in. And I was in it for years.
And just so they don't feel alone, you just
check in.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know what's too much.
It's never too much when especially after it happens and everybody's going home and you don't have anybody there. Yeah, it's never too much, honey. You can call every single day. Like I said, you don't have to ask them about it. Just talk about your day or ask them about their day, what happened, and what's going on in their life or in the kids' life or in their spouse life. But surround them with love. Definitely do that, because depression is nothing fun.
Sometimes you don't need to say anything. Just be present. Sometimes people don't need to know what your thoughts are, or you saying, "I'm so sorry. How are you doing?" Maybe just sit with them. Sit with them and just be there. Be present with them for whatever reason, because we don't know all the answers.
Thank you, Jammin, for the good advice. I really do appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Nina.
Take care. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. All right. Let me read these super chats, and then we're going to talk about this book, chapter 4. What you said, chapter 4?
It's part 3, just peachy.
Okay. NeNe had every reason not to go with Cynthia. Super spreader wedding. Y'all are messy, because Gregg had cancer. I wouldn't have went wrapped in a bubble to protect my husband. Cynthia in the wrong. Okay. Y'all are messy. Here's another one. Sorry. The lady that raised her died earlier in the year. That's right. Her aunt. Yes, her aunt. She's strong, and will survive, but damn, she's still human. NeNe is going through a lot, and I sympathize with her. I just can't help it. Now let's talk about this book. Too. Yeah, I can't help it. I would have went, but I can't judge Cynthia. I'm not in her shoes, and I have a totally different personality. And we know at the end of the day, she is a sweet person. Go ahead, Diva. What were you going to say? Go ahead.
This book, Just Peachy, The Real Housewives of Atlanta, it premiered October 7, 2008. And so they talk about how they got everyone on the cast. So NeNe knew Kim, but at the time that they casted Kim, her and NeNe wasn't even talking.
What?
But yes, Sharrell, though, what I'm shocked is Sharrell is being so greasy in this chapter. I wonder how they're going to feel when they read it. Oh, she's saying NeNe was nothing. She was a nobody. And then when she got on the show and she came up, that was the first time she seen real riches, pretty much. She was saying, Sharrell is talking sideways about everybody. She talked about Deshaun, saying Deshaun was boring. She said nothing. She did nothing for the show. And now, you know what? It reminded me in this book why they're mad at Kenya. They're mad at Kenya for when she went and got married and didn't tell them. So that's why they're pissed at her. They said that they spent all of this time watching her, go the beat, fall in love and have a baby. And then off season, she goes get married and don't tell any of them. So that's why that next season she wasn't on the show. They told her to go have your baby and be happy.
Is Kenya wrong for that? Is Kenya wrong for that, Diva?
Oh, she is, because if you're going to open your whole life to this show, you know what you give up. And they've been following you all this time, trying to go to, they showed her with the different boyfriends, and they knew that's what she wanted. And then they said, here it is, you finally get what you want, and you don't share it with the show. So I think they hold grudges. So they're still pissed about that.
But look at the man that she married.
Do you believe the rumor going around right now that Andy is still treating her messy?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
If he was mad she got married and didn't tell him.
Right. That's what.
Or let them film it.
Right. That's what they're pissed about. And so they're still pissed. And it's a shame. And then so Cynthia swears, but the production is with her on this too, that when Kenya came back the end of that season that she wasn't on, remember she was pregnant, and she came to the the engagement party or whatever they was having. Right. She swears that she did invite Kenya but she didn't know Kenya was coming, right? And then when Kandi showed up with Kenya, NeNe was pissed, and she said that sealed the deal. Like, NeNe had no love for her after that. She was done with Cynthia because she swore up and down that Cynthia, was doing something behind her back. But they said NeNe was paranoid the entire season because she just had, ups and downs the entire season. And then when that happened, she swore that Cynthia was plotting behind her back.
The writing was on the wall.
You heard the mic remember? What's it called?
So Cynthia claims she was trying not to break the fourth wall because in your production, whatever the case may be. But I don't feel that way either. But then also Carlos King, which I didn't know, he was assigned to NeNe as a producer. So that's why him and NeNe were so close. But he said he treated everyone fairly, but they didn't feel that way. But he also was the one responsible for getting Sharrell back on the show, because he had left for a little bit because he was building his own company. And then when they said they wanted him back, he said, I'll come back if you bring Sharrell. So he likes Sharrell a lot too.
He is messy, okay?
Yes, he is.
Carlos King is messy. Now, I don't know if he's a bad person for that or a good producer, but he gets in people's heads, he starts trouble, and he gives the best shows.
He sure is. He wrecking Shaq on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Whew.
Yeah.
While he was in Atlanta, he did a great job. It was great production when he was there.
It was great production. He also said that he was pissed that Phaedra tried to blame the whole Dudgeon situation on him because he had already left the show. So because remember at first Phaedra said Phaedra tried to blame, like, she got the information from production, but he said during the season he was saying that Kandi herself said that she wanted to drag Portia and drug her and take her down in the dungeon. So, but then he said when she got busted, she wanted to blame it on Carlos King, and he said he was livid. He was pissed at her.
This is confusing. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I got to catch up on these super chats really quick. Whoa. Corey is right. When my dad died, I didn't want to hear from anyone. It's uncomfortable after a while. Yeah. I didn't want to speak of him in the past tense. Okay. Thank you so much, Ali, for that super chat. Okay. They wanted to publicly blame the producer. Now we know the producers are all in this, start all of these feuds. What sense does that make to want to publicly blame Carlos King? And didn't Carlos team up with Todd when they did R&B Divas?
They did. But I think because they said at that point, Phaedra knows she was done. So, and he, and Andy said, I kept trying to get her to ask her questions to save herself, but she knew at that point that she really did herself in, and she knew that sealed the deal. And Kandi also said she will never work with Phaedra again. She said, period.
Well, so okay, Kandi, this has been years. Wait, I got another. Is it Atif? Can you show me your face really quick? Okay, thank you. You can go back on Avatar. Ooh, he's cute.
But I have to tell you what Kenya Moore said about NeNe. She said, I believe NeNe's problem is insecurity. This is a woman who used to be a stripper, single mom, struggling. She said struggling, doing all kinds of things to find an older gentleman to basically get her out of the strip club, legitimize her, buy her nice things, or give her a certain lifestyle, then put her on a platform on which she became famous overnight because Real Housewives made her. It didn't make Kandi. It didn't make Cynthia. It didn't make me. It didn't make Eva. And she was known in that world. Then you take your Porsches and your NeNes. The show literally made them.
Now, if you could show up to a funeral after dragging somebody like that, hold on. How do I pronounce your name? Is it Atif?
It's Atif.
Atif. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about? I mean, we were getting too much. My mind is going to explode, Atif. What do you have to say about all of this?
So I'm a little late to the chat. I know that Cynthia, obviously there was controversy with her not showing up to Gregg's, celebration of life, but I thought they were photographed shortly thereafter at an event, like they reunited. So I thought that they had squashed that.
A week later, Atif. A week. If my parents died, I want you there now.
Yeah, most definitely. Most
Do
definitely.
you feel that Cynthia was out of line?
Yes, I do. The funny thing is that when all that was going on, I was actually shocked when they photographed Kenya there. Like Kenya showed up, of all people. Kenya, which, you know, her and NeNe, that was like World War III. You know what I mean? So if Kenya, you know, could show up and celebrate Gregg, there was no reason why Cynthia could not find time to do that.
I know. I mean,
Eva was there. I mean,
everybody.
basically, like almost everyone that NeNe had feuded with showed up, with the exception of her supposed friend Cynthia.
Right.
Doesn't make sense.
This is the most
somebody in
chaotic.
the chat said Kim was there too. Her and
Yeah,
Croy.
If
Yeah,
Kim
Kim,
can
you know what I
come,
mean?
I saw
Yeah.
pictures of them like in a corner, like I don't want nobody to touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
maybe Croy had a
Yeah,
gun
exactly.
in his
They had their
pocket.
own little like VIP.
Do you think Croy had a gun in his pocket?
Possibly there was too many black folk for him.
Now let me ask you a question, Diva. Kim and NeNe were on bad terms when they signed the contracts?
Yes. Yes.
Why did
They
they go?
said they wasn't even speaking, but they was desperately trying to find people so they could start the show.
And that explains why Kim just instantly jumped on Sheray's side. Like she befriended her so quickly. She
Right.
really
Yep.
wasn't feeling NeNe like that.
Mhm.
This is too much.
But you know.
Go ahead,
Oh, go
Aja.
ahead. No, what I was going to say was, you guys were talking about this earlier, you know, in terms of what you just mentioned too about NeNe trying to get people fired or not wanting them to rejoin the show, you know, and all that stuff. NeNe, you know, it's funny because whoever was saying it earlier was correct. NeNe did, you know, to a certain extent, yeah, Cynthia is she's a bad friend. But NeNe, for a while, you know, her fame was rising. She was making all this money. She was doing sitcoms and, you know, she was doing like, you know, the Hollywood thing. And, you know, around that time, you could tell that it was getting to her head just because of the way she would put down the other ladies. Case in point, even her and Claudia, when they were feuding during season 7, you could tell that NeNe would put her down a lot, and she would compare her accolades, you know, as compared to Claudia, and she would put Claudia down. So you could definitely tell that for the longest time, NeNe let the fame get to her head, and she was probably walking around thinking that she, you know, because she is the show to a large extent, but you're working with an ensemble cast. And it's almost like she didn't even want to interact with some of the other ladies if she had an issue with them. And it just kind of got out of control. So, I mean, it's kind of like it works both ways. Like, yeah, Cynthia's a bad friend and she wasn't there for her and she should have been there for her. But NeNe also, I mean, you know, maybe there's a lot of bad blood. What I will say, though, is that Cynthia needs to kind of check herself, because even in terms of her being a friend, remember that hot mic situation? Like she was mic'd up and Candy's like, you're mic'd, you're mic'd. Cynthia's just kind of shady. Yeah, how could we forget? So like Cynthia's really kind of shady like that. So she needs to kind of like check herself when it comes to being a true friend.
So Cynthia has a nice side, and Cynthia can be a good friend. She also could be just as shady as the rest.
Definitely.
But I agree with you to a certain extent, though. When they first started, like Diva said, Sheree was so greasy about her. But her and Sheree had been friends for like what, 15 years by then? When they first started the show,
they had been friends for a while.
And her and Kim were like friends for like 3 years or something. So they kept putting her down throughout the whole first season. They kept saying she's ugly, she's this, she's not that. She doesn't know how to dress, and this, that, and the third.
That's real.
The only person that was really there for her was Lisa Wu.
Let me read this
Lisa
super
Wu
chat.
definitely had her back.
Hold on, let me read this really quick.
No, I'm not talking.
Hold on. Is that you, Dustin?
What?
There's an echo.
And that's not me. That's Perry.
Oh. Okay, Colby says, that's why I feel no sympathy for Kenya. Get her, Andy. Colby!
Whoa.
Let me ask Diva this quick question, and then I'll get to you, Dustin. Knowing what you're reading in this book, Diva, do you think Andy Cohen and NeNe will ever work it out?
I think Andy, from what I read in the book, he's definitely open to it. But they are all upset about the way NeNe portrayed it as when they left. And what Candy said was, how you going to call somebody racist? Now, Candy said this. She said, when we were the highest paid housewives out of the whole franchise. And she said, when NeNe was offered spinoffs, she said, they said that NeNe got mad and NeNe was the first one to get all of the opportunities out the door. But when the other girls started getting opportunities, NeNe was mad. And they was going to do a show, a spinoff with NeNe and Kim. NeNe refused because her and Kim was fighting.
I remember
so NeNe
that.
is the one that refused. But they was like, remember, Candy was like, remember, NeNe got her wedding special, but she said every time I got something, NeNe was pissed and treated me badly. So, you know, the book has a lot of information and you sit back and you're like, wow. And then NeNe got, when NeNe was going off and getting like all the shows and was going off to Hollywood, she told Kenya, you can have the crown because you're going to be over here and I'm going to Hollywood. And then when it didn't pan out and she came back, when she came back, it was messy.
God. Listen,
yeah.
one thing we can say about this book, I don't know if you guys heard today, Bethany Frankel came out and said she feels betrayed because you trust these producers and now everything's in the book. And she doesn't understand why Andy published this book.
Well,
so what I'm thinking is
Andy's shady, that's why.
No one has ever said that the book is full of lies.
Shady
no one
boots.
has said that.
Because you know what? How could she say that? She's mad at Andy, but all of these ladies gave the interview.
Yeah.
This is not the producer's words. This is the producer actually speaking to the housewives and them giving their stories. What Bethany is pissed about in their chapter, they rolled Bethany under the bus.
What?
Save it.
Wow. We're gonna do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Let's do it later today. You want to do it later today?
We can.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh my God, this is so good. Dustin, Bethany, to say this is so good.
Bethany is not talking to Andy or Hyde at the moment.
Save it, Corey.
I thought Bethany and Andy were friends.
Okay, Dustin, what did you have to add to today's conversation?
I think they need to get rid of Andy Cohen and get somebody else in the hot seat.
You're still pushing for get rid of Andy?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna get rid of Andy.
I agree.
5 minutes. Let me take one more call and then I gotta go. And we're gonna come back, Diva. We have got to come back.
I think we need to.
Hi, Pretty Bunny.
Somebody
How
needs
are
to get
you?
rid of
That
him.
sounds funny. Pretty Bunny.
How you doing?
Hey, Bunny. Really quickly, because we've got so much information in this video. My head can't take it. It's going to explode. What did you want to sound off on?
So yeah, like you said it like right when we were when you had the picture of like everybody who showed up for like that little get together for Gregg with NeNe supporting NeNe, and everybody was asking about Cynthia. And then I think it was you, Gabor, were speculating that maybe, that she shouldn't be there because that would be fake. So, now that it's coming out that now NeNe has a clearer head, she has a clearer head now, it's good to know that we're getting the truth. And now, because she was trying to be classy at the time because Gregg just died. I'm just glad that she's able to be in a clear headspace. And
I hate to act like a high schooler, but whose side are you on, Cynthia or NeNe?
NeNe. I'm team NeNe, period. All day, every day. Boring Cynthia. I'm glad she's not gonna be on the show like that anymore. I've been tired of her.
If you're team NeNe, what about all the stuff that Diva just said came in that book? Is that she was treating them women bad? Do you believe it?
Okay, so you know what? Basically, because I rewatched season 1 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, like maybe a couple months ago, and remember, NeNe was not supposed to be the it girl. It was supposed to be either between Kim or Sharrell. Like she was never in line to be that girl.
Okay.
So
she snatched that crown real quick.
Yeah, and she did, because the thing about it is she was the fan favorite and she was the most relatable to everybody else. I mean, maybe not the stripper part and then marrying Gregg part, but like, like
Sheree is wrong for that.
She was like a down to earth person, so she became the fan favorite. So it's like automatically she won the audience over, and we crowned her the queen
We
of
did.
Atlanta.
I loved her.
But
I love
the thing
her.
about it is that
I love NeNe Leakes.
she wasn't supposed to be in this position to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But but knowing that she watched the playback of the confessionals of, oh, she's tacky, she's this, she's ghetto, she's ratchet, she's this, that, and the third, she internalized that, and then she lashed out on the newer people coming in. So it's like she was, she created her own monster from internalizing all the insults, all the negativity, and flipped it. And then now she's taking it out on newer people.
Let me ask, this is the last question. I'm going to go around the board. I'll start with you, Bunny. Does NeNe Leakes, can NeNe Leakes, what is that? Can NeNe Leakes separate herself from Housewives and still continue to be successful?
If she does like maybe like a younger version, like if she could find like a younger version of Housewives, like maybe like the Sugar Babies of something or whatever, like if she can do like a younger version of like Housewives to catch like maybe the 18 to 34 audience, like completely where like millennial Gen Z crowd, and she can executive produce a show like that, she can definitely.
Everybody's saying NeNe should go into a producer position. What do you think, Dustin? Can she separate herself from Bravo and still be successful?
I think she needs to separate herself from the show and have her own show.
Yeah. Atif, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think that she has an opportunity to separate herself. She can create her own brand. She can, like what you mentioned, she can produce. Even get her own talk show. She can have her own talk show. So,
Wendy Williams talk show.
What
do you think,
the NeNe show.
I think people seem to love that Lunithian lounge. I think she should do like LVP did and have a show at her lounge. And it should be like all the girls, all the waitresses, all the ladies at the lounge. I think she would do very well in that. So she don't have to be the center of all the drama. She can just be the leader of the restaurant. And I think that will hit off beautiful for her. Because people have been supporting that lounge more than I see them supporting candy restaurants. So I think she can get that off.
Corey, what do you think? Can NeNe separate from Bravo and still be successful?
I do. I really do think so. I agree with Gray Hair Diva. And also, what she should do also is show how she's rebuilding her life after Gregg. How she's getting her sexy back after Gregg.
Yeah. Perry?
Well, look, I'm going to agree with the ladies. The whole panel, really. NeNe can do other things. NeNe can do that same thing, move on with her life while she show her business growing. The lounge, right? She can do it like you said, Vanderpump. Do the same kind of thing. It's right there.
There's a lot of drama there.
And then she's still showing her moving on with her life.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
This has been a great video. I wanted to thank my panel. Diva, I'll call you after the show.
Okay.
Because we need to come back and do a whole new separate thing because I heard about this Bethany chapter. So okay, don't say it. So it's gonna be good.
Wait a minute, Brendan wants to say something real quick.
Go ahead, Brendan.
Come on. Hurry, baby.
Okay. And NeNe, if you're listening, I'm working hard to become a movie director. When I got to Hollywood, I'm looking you up.
Oh, yeah.
He loves NeNe.
I see.
He's so sweet. Okay, thank you, Atif, for coming in. You didn't need an avatar. You are good looking.
Yes, beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
He just might not feel like it. Thank you so much. I appreciate your call. Take care.
No problem. Take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you, Justin, for being my ride or die. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling in. Have a good one.
Anytime. Hey,
Thank
I can't
you.
find your
Justin.
podcast in the app. I can't find your podcast on the Apple.
It's on
Podcast.
Spotify. It's up on Spotify. It's up on Spreaker app.
What about the Apple?
Well, it's right in the approval process. Once the first one go out, the second ones come faster. That's why we just sort of slow down until everything's up and running. But it's on Spotify,
All right,
and
let me
it's
know when
on
it's on
the
Apple.
Spreaker. The
Thank you,
Spreaker
Justin.
app.
You're so sweet and loyal. I love you to the end. Take care.
Yeah, I love
he's a
your channel.
Spreaker. All
Bye-bye.
right.
Thank you, Bunny, for calling in.
Thanks, buddy.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. All right, Diva, I will call you, girl.
Okay.
Part 2. Okay.
Part 2.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Bye, Brendan and Corey
See you.
and Mom.
Bye.
Tell Mom.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
This video was heated. I loved it. Oh my gosh. I will be back in an hour and a half. Oh my God. I talked.
Yeah.
I gotta work on my times. It's crazy. I'll try to come back tonight, mods. I'm not sure. I will let you know if I don't. Within 20 minutes, I'll let you guys know. I wanted to thank everyone for your super chats. You don't have. Did you have any last words, Perry? I forgot.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. I want to thank everyone for your super channel. You don't have to support the channel. So I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart when you do. Chat, this video was so good. I enjoyed it. Am I supposed to be having this much fun at work?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with it, Sharrell. There's nothing wrong with it.
I loved it. All right, then. We will see you guys later tonight if everything goes right. Perry will guys let you know. Let's say bye, Perry, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.